And we're going on something that deep beat the doo. There's no stopping me. I'm burning through the sky. Yeah. How you guys doing? 200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. Oh, wow. I had a bunch of viewers and they're all gone because I was poorly singing Queen. What a bunch of a-holes. Am I right, folks? Am I right? All right, so what's going on today is I got some materials to help make my life easier. And oh, I just got a notification that I'm live. Well, that was nice of them. Come on, you fucker. So what's going to happen is I'm going to open these things. I haven't opened them yet. I'm going to open them and I'm going to be putting together a bunch of chapbooks that I've been putting together as orders come in because I thought it would conserve space, and it has not done that. And it has made things actually 100% more confusing around here, and a little garbage, a little garbage. I'm just gonna come out and say it. So I'm gonna use my new materials to finish assembling these books because there is more. The LA Zine Fest is coming up, and I applied for it yesterday. And if I get it, if I get to be a part, there is like doing things like this, you move a lot of product. And I'm going to need to kind of separate what I expect to sell at that and um like keep it separated. Okay, nerd. um but there's more to this, and what that is that I'm also doing the crowdfunding campaign in March for Winner of Your Mom's Sodomy Prize for Poetry, which is my new collection in paperback kind of thing. Now, because of that, a lot of the tiers are going to have things where you can get all my chapbooks and all that, you know? And that's cool. And I don't mind doing that. But the problem is if I move a lot of units in the crowdfunding campaign, I fear I'm not going to have enough stuff for the Zine Fest the next month. So, what this means is I have basically the rest of this month to try to figure out my stuff and kind of separate it, move it around. Because if you recall, I did a podcast a little while ago. Jessica, I just sent you a message about a half hour ago. And if you're down, then we can just make this happen, even if it's right now. I'll put the brakes on this whole shabazzle, this whole shabazzle Rathbone. Okay, so anyway, because of the crowdfunding campaign and then the LA Zine Fest, I need to make sure I have enough stuff for each. But if you listen to my podcast on how I price my chapbooks, and I was going into the rarity and scarcity thing and all that other stuff. Um, I bet that's not true. And Jessica, let me just tell you that you have inspired this jerk to start working out more and putting those, like, I talk about like my dieting and all this stuff on here, and I just do it because I feel like there's a little bit of accountability. Like if I tell you guys, oh, like I lost 4 pounds this week, and then next week I'm like, oh, I lost 2 more pounds. I feel like I'm kind of checking in, like with like my nutritionist or something like that. And Jessica, if you guys don't know, the how-to artist, um, formerly the soft-spoken poet, which again I have to talk to you about that too because I want to know why that happened. But also Jessica does these videos about her like fitness journey and all this stuff, and has like footage of her working out and like going on hikes and like doing all the shit that you do. And that inspired me to go, oh, I should do that too. And then the funny thing here is in my head, I'm like, you know what? Like subconsciously, even if that inspired me to do that video kind of stuff, the fact that it inspired me to do anything means that that's inspiring. And I should do it anyway, just so if there's just a couple people who are like, oh, I should work out more, or I should take better care of myself, or just anything like that, then that's worth it, right? That's why you do the thing. So I don't know. Like, so Jessica, thank you for that. Like, I don't know. Like, I need to start doing stuff. I have to be careful because every time I start doing anything, I screw my knee up even more. Um, and then I did see a doctor through this whole thing. I still haven't got my MRI yet. That's still a whole other stupid insurance issue. But the LCL tear is probably a little worse than we thought because a lot of times when I stand up, okay, and I put weight on that leg, I feel like my knee's going to bend backwards. And I have to like kind of brace myself and wait until like I feel enough stability that my leg doesn't go back. And that's fucking stupid. And I didn't know what that was. And apparently, that's what the LCL is there to prevent from happening. So, since I keep feeling like that's going to happen, that tear is probably a lot worse than originally thought. So, I don't know if that's good or bad or like what that means for potential surgery, but I didn't like hearing that. That's not something I wanted to hear. Let's see here. Okay. I'm expecting way too many calls. And if the imaging place calls me, like I am gonna just like mute this and like try to get that all sorted because this has been going on for seriously way too long. Since mid-December, I've been trying to get a damn MRI. It's freaking stupid. Uh, let's see. Oh yeah, Jessica. That's why I brought that up because you are so inspiring. Jessica says she's on a weight loss journey too. Yoga, man, it's excellent on the joints and building flexibility. Yoga also drains the lymphatic system, which is excellent for weight loss. I used to think yoga wasn't extreme enough to count as a workout, but it's all great. It's great all around. I do certain things in the morning while this sounds stupid, but there's like yoga you can do in bed when you first wake up. And I know there's certain things you shouldn't do when you first wake up because you don't want to like because your spine sits a certain way. And when you first wake up, your spine like isn't used to what's going on yet. And if you do too much stuff right when you wake up, you could like do that. And that's not good. But there are little things you can do to a stream. What day is it? Who am I know I'm blowing everyone's minds right now. No, I'll talk about again why I'm doing this right now. But back to the yoga thing. So I do some yoga stuff in the morning just to like um, release some scar tissue because, which again, this is stuff I didn't know about. I have a ton of scar tissue and fucked up cartilage in my back and in my like mainly my back, but my knees and my ankles and stuff from playing football, from doing skateboarding, and just anything like, okay, come on. I was in high school around the same time the people from Jackass were doing the CKY videos. And I was in like Orange County. So, of course, like, hey, can we fall off that building and see if it hurts? I'll do it. Like that whole thing. Can we jump over a speeding car? Sign me up, like um I come from a generation of idiots that did stupid things to see if they were things that could be done. So, and then just like going to shows and playing, stage diving. I don't know how else to like get into all this shit, but like I put a ton of damage on parts of my body from all this shit. And I went, when I went to the doctor, I found out that I also have a lot of scar tissue inside my ears, like on my membrane and shit, um, which is why my hearing loss is like an actual thing and not just me going, oh, like I can't hear what you're saying. I always thought I was like a little deafer on this side. Like I couldn't hear as well on this side than this side. But I just thought that was, well, that's my driver's ear. And I always drive with my window down. Maybe that's what it is. But it turns out that it's a little bit more than that. And especially when I was in three-piece bands. So like I was either playing bass and singing or playing guitar and singing. I was always on this side of the stage, like kind of facing, like if this is the stage, I'd be facing like this way. And so I would have the speakers over here and then the monitors up here. And it was all kind of hitting this side of my head. And I didn't realize that until like when the doctor was asking me questions about this. I was like, oh shit. Yeah. Like I did that for like 15 years. So like that'll probably take a toll. And then when I think back to concerts I've been to, like just as a teenager, like when I have my memories of how the concerts went, I was always on the left side of the stage, like next to the big ass speakers. Like I don't know why I would do that. I would just go to this side and face like that instead of coming in like this and facing like that. It's just weird. And yeah, so this ear would have more damage than this ear. So I don't know. But anyway, so I do. Speaking of Jackass, I do like some yoga in the morning, like before I even get out of bed. What's up, man? How you doing? But I do the yoga before I get out of bed, just to like kind of break up all of that stuff that doesn't want to break up. And then when my knee got really bad, hey man, this is what we're here for. This is what we're doing. Yeah. But yeah, so Jessica, yes, yoga's good. Planks are good. Uh, Kettlebells are awesome. And so I'm like, I should just do that in my videos for that, just to kind of show people what I'm doing. because I mean, shit, content's content, right? But the idea of having something that makes you feel accountable is kind of important. It's why Weight Watchers exists, you know? Like, it's not because like they're great at what they do. It's because people are like going, God damn it, I have to go weigh in today. You know, like that's what keeps that kind of shit going. But the fasting's awesome. Like fasting's been going great for me. And I'm not hungry. I'm not having like issues with it. Um, and I don't know, like I never thought that like when someone first talked to me about fasting, I'm like, you're a psychotic person. Get the fuck away from me. Like the last thing I want someone to do is tell me that there is an actual big chunk of the day where I am not allowed to eat if I get hungry. Up yours, mister. But it actually isn't that bad because I didn't really eat all the time anyway, you know? So it's going good. And like I keep thinking that like it's making my knee feel better, but then I go do something and my knee is just killed. Yeah, I need accountability too. Health fitness isn't talked about enough in the writing community. I mean, we sit for hours. It's important. Dude. Let me tell you something about this. Okay. And for anyone who has any knowledge of this, tell me because I heard a dude, this was years ago. I heard a dude talk about this. And so there was one thing in it that caught my attention and I thought was crazy. And every time I bring that up, I get chewed out by people. So here's the deal. I heard this guy. This had to have been like 2014. Okay. Like he was a guy who wrote a book on the health of writers because we lead sedentary lifestyles and all this stuff. Like we need like extra support and we need stuff that most people don't when it comes to our health and our bodies and all this other stuff. So he wrote this book on how to take care of yourself while you're actually writing your book. Like things you can do while you're just that would be like things that you don't even think about doing that will increase your strength and your just whatever. And the host of the podcast was saying like, oh well, I just got this treadmill and I have a desk on top of the treadmill, and so for 2 hours a day while I'm working I like walk on the treadmill. And the guy's like, oh no, you don't want to do that. And the guy's like, why would you not want to do that? And he's like, well, it's not as bad for men, but it's really bad for women, so just stay away from treadmills. And this guy went on this like giant tirade about treadmills and then got to his big twist and said that treadmills make women's uteruses fall out. Yeah. So a woman on a treadmill, according to this dude, is like 100% more likely to like, I don't know if he meant to fall out. I think he meant like uterine prolapse or something, but like I don't know if he ever actually had seen a female without clothes on before. I don't know if he understands what things are connected to, but like I don't know if uteruses just fall out. Like, oh crap, I dropped my phone. Like that's not a thing. So I'm like going, oh, okay, he's probably just talking about prolapse. Okay, whatever. Like that's something that happens. You got to strengthen your pelvic floor. Come on, guys. The whole thing. Perineum, the drill. Kegels, whatever. So I told my mom because my mom has a treadmill. And I'm like, oh, mom, you shouldn't walk on the treadmill because your uterus is going to fall out. She chews me out. Then I talked to a friend of mine who had a treadmill who was female. I said the same thing. They chewed me out. what a piece of crap I was for even saying that? Do I know how sexist that sounds? And I'm like, I'm not trying to be sexist. I was trying to help your uterus. This is just what a doctor said on a podcast. So this is when I started realizing that most of the time when doctors are on podcasts, they're probably just trying to sell a book and maybe not that good of a doctor, or else they would just be a doctor. So, okay, so you heard about prolapse. They tell you to push it back in. Yeah. How old is that guy? Sounds sexist. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Okay, let's see here. Jess says, I would bust my ass. Jade says, that's what they used to say about trains and women. Oh my gosh, did they really? Walking and typing, not that coordinated. Okay. Brian's great here. I don't have a uterus, but I'm pretty sure they can't just fall out. That's what I thought. There's some other stuff between them and the great outdoors. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, how the fuck did we get on that? Oh, okay. I think I kind of can connect the dots now. Oh man. Well, now my coffee's cold. God. Okay. So to recap, why? Because a lot of you are going, why are you streaming right now? It is nor Friday nor Sunday, and nor. So again, real quick, what's going on is I have a finite number of chapbooks because I release things in limited runs. Okay. Next month, I have the crowdfunding campaign for my collection called Winner of Your Mom's Sodomy Prize for Poetry. Okay. In those tiers, like I've done with previous crowdfunding campaigns, some of the tiers are going to have bunches of chapbooks in them. Okay. So I need to make sure I have stuff set aside for that. But also, yesterday I applied for the Los Angeles Zine Fest, which is obviously a very large zine fest. And whenever I have done zine fests in the past, and again, I did one, a virtual one in September, but I haven't been to a physical one since before the pandemic. And whenever I did those events, I sold pretty much everything I had. Like, those are big movers. But because that's going to be in a couple months, I realize that if my sales I'm doing keep going the way they're going, and the crowdfunding campaign at least matches what the last crowdfunding campaign did, I might not have like really any product for the Zine Fest. So I'm going to go through and make sure I have stuff for each thing, and then also have stuff to keep me afloat until then. But also, I got some new equipment that I'm going to be showing you guys here in a minute that will hopefully help me put all this stuff together. Now, I say put together because I thought it would save space if I didn't put the books together until they were ordered. So instead of having drawers full of books and boxes full of books, I would have drawers full of book pages and covers. And then as the orders come in, I could fold them and staple them and do the thing. Turns out this does not take up more room, because if you are familiar with volume, like the volume of a square, okay, or a cube, if you have the same amount of mass that you are putting in to a cube, no matter how you fold it or move it, that same amount of mass is going to be there. So in actuality, all this does is just nothing. It just causes more things for me to do when orders come in. Oh, and for those of you who remember me talking about like positive stuff and like every time I go to the post office, I end up with an order. Went to the post office yesterday, came back to a pretty big order. So, still a thing. It's still happening. Can't explain it. It's just one of those things that happen. So, what I'm going to do is if you guys have any questions about anything, ask those. And I'm going to have my last smoke here before I pull everything out and start doing stuff. For those of you also in the Anarchy crew, um, who we had a stream the other day where I was talking about the Bloodshed Press and the publishing thing and what my goals and everything are. When I was talking about author royalties, I just want to say this now before I forget. When I was talking about the number for author royalties, I was referring to the percentage off of the net, not off of the gross. So when you look at that percentage as a whole, it's going to be lower than what I said originally, if that makes sense. Because when it's a part of the whole pie, it's like it's less. But then when you only have three pieces of the pie, that is bigger because now the pie is smaller, if you understand what I'm saying. So just I wanted to throw that out there in case there was any confusion about that too. What software do you use to set up your chapbooks? Brian asks. I use, okay, here's the thing. And I kind of do this in a stupid way, and there's a streamlined way of doing this, but this is what I do. I use Scrivener for writing everything because Scrivener is fucking awesome. And the way you can set up your projects inside Scrivener is just fantastic. It makes writing really easy and moving things around. It makes it really easy. I love it. You can, if you go to literatureandlatte.com, I think is the website for it, you can get a free trial of it. And unless they've changed this, you can get the free trial. And as long as you never shut Scrivener, and as long as you don't actually turn your computer off, you can put your computer on standby and all that stuff. But as long as you don't close out a Scrivener, the like 30-day trial or whatever, like you can, I didn't pay for Scrivener for 4 years because I never closed it. So like a day is you closing it and opening it again. And I shouldn't have done that because I love the product and I've been using it ever since. But they got me because I've had 3 computers now in the last 2 years, and I had to buy it for each one. So they made all their fucking money back on me for real. So I use that to write everything in. Then because I have a Mac, I use Pages, which is like just another. It's kind of like Apple's version of Word. I put everything in Word how I want to do it, to make the PDF, like the first PDF of whatever I'm going to do. And then I have another program that costs like $9 when I got it called Create Booklet. And I put my PDF in there and it takes that PDF and does the folding to where each page will be on a page that it's supposed to be on, and you can put the page numbers on there. And I don't do the page numbers on Pages because it's not as good as the page numbers on Create Booklet. And so that's what I do, and then I print that out. I make a PDF of the booklet and then print that out. But everyone and their mom is like, just use InDesign. InDesign's amazing. Just use InDesign. And you could basically do everything you want to do. Like all the stuff you're talking about doing, just do it in InDesign. So you would probably still need to write the stuff somewhere, but InDesign is apparently the industry standard. And because of what I'm going to be doing and the graphic designers and stuff that I'm going to be working with, I'm probably going to have to learn InDesign. What I will do probably is still make chapbooks through how I do it now, because I've been doing it for so long. It's just like the easiest thing in the world to me. But for actually putting the books together and all that stuff, I think I'm going to go and use InDesign. So, and I think that's an Adobe product, pretty sure. Oh, let me see what. Let me read your message there. Nope. Are you in there? Oh, okay. So you didn't leave a message. Okay. Yeah. So here's the deal. If you want to do it today, um, and you have time before things get wild over there, let's do that. I do want to try to get some of this done, and maybe I'll do this and then come back, like, and then we can meet up and then come back. That might be a way to do it too. All right. So, things that I got. Most of you will remember this bad boy, my long arm stapler, the great sword of any zinester or chapbook maker. You do this so you can make books and staple them and have it work. But this stapler I've had for so long, so many parts of it have broken off of it. It jams all the time. It's a piece of shit. Um, so I got a new one that says it is jam proof. Said every peanut butter sandwich ever. Look at this bad boy. Look at that. So this is kind of cool because you could fold the book and it sits on that little arch thing and the whole deal. The problem I have with this, and I think I'm going to run into, is that stapler, just like this one over here, the stapler itself looks a bit janky, like grade school stapler on your teacher's desk janky. And some of the really nice staplers and stuff like that with the big, beautiful staples, those things are like 200, $300. And I'm just like, God damn it. I don't know if I want to like throw down that kind of money on a stapler right now. If I want to try them out. What I should probably do is go to what's a store that might have staplers? Staples. Go to Staples and try some of these things out, or go to like Kinko, or what do they call it now? FedEx, and try some of these staplers out. I want to like feel them and see them. Like I don't like spending a lot of money on something that I can't play with beforehand. I feel like I'm getting bamboozled. So that's one of those things. So that's the first thing. Second thing I got was a nice paper cutter. And this is just good to have when you're making zines anyway, especially like when you are either doing like collage-y kind of stuff, or when you're doing like a single page thing and you have to like cut the page to like do all the stuff. But I got this. Oh, I don't have any examples right here. No, you'll see in a little bit. I got this because a lot of my chapbooks, the pages stick out of the cover, and that drives me crazy. I've always hated that, and I always have been like, someday I'm going to fix that. And now's the day. I want to make sure that my chapbooks do not do that. And when you do like offset printing, I guess they do this with digital printing too. Like when you have like glued bindings, they do a thing where the pages are always like different lengths depending on where they are in the book, like the actual sheets of paper when they put them together. And that's like a science that I know nothing about and probably never will. But I think it's cool, and I would love to be able to know more about that. But until then, I'm just going to cut the paper because that's the easiest way to solve my problem, allegedly. You know what could also happen? I could put the paper in here, go like this, and it just rips all the pages out of my book. So that is also a thing to worry about. All right. So what I need to do here, what book is this? Okay. So this is the remaining copies of Last Chance. Okay. So a lot of this might be kind of boring for you guys. Oh, okay. Let's see what this is here. Okay, I'm free for the next 1.5 hours. Okay, let me see how much stuff I could get done in the next 20 minutes, and then we'll get on the call there. My current printer actually has a booklet setting, but the one I had before did not. Oh man, that would be nice. I need to talk nice about my printer, touch wood, because if my, oh gosh, I can't even talk about it. If my printer goes, I'm kind of screwed because what I like the printer I have now is kind of a heavy duty printer. It's like it's an office printer, like I don't know if it would be considered an inkjet or laser jet or whatever, but it's kind of a higher end big model for big jobs. But I found out that my jobs might be a little too big for it at this age for the printer because it's been around a bit. So if I ever get another printer, I think I'm going to get a toner printer, like old school toner, instead of inkjet or laserjet or anything like that. But I need him to keep working. So we're going to pretend we didn't have this talk, and I hope it didn't hear me. What does a heavy duty printer go for? I have a giant toner printer. Oh, you are so lucky. Oh, gosh. Toner printers are so good. This printer I have here, I think I'm probably going to be off on this, but I think it was around $1,200. And I've had it since, I want to say 2013 when I got it. But it died at one point, and I didn't have a warranty or anything. And I was really pissed. And oh my gosh, I was, oh, touch wood, I hope this doesn't happen again. I was like a month away from another Zine Fest, and I needed to print out a ton of stuff. And I called the company, which was Epson, and I said, look, your printer broke. I don't know what to do. I'm in a bind. And they're like, oh, we'll just send it back to us and we'll send you another one. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to pay for it. And I was all like mad and angry. And they're like, that's fine. We'll just send you a new one. I'm like, it's the same one? And they're like, yeah, we'll send you the same one. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I sent them the printer back. And like within like a week, I got a brand new printer of the exact same printer I had. And that's what I've had ever since. And so that was like 2017, 2018 when I got the printer. I know, I can't believe they replaced the printer. Like it blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. But they're like, no, our product should last like a long time. So yeah, we'll just replace it. And I'm like, awesome. So, yep. keep your fingers crossed, guys. We only talk good things about printers here. But I will say, if you have a inkjet or a laserjet printer and you don't have a grayscale setting on your printer, you are going to go broke buying ink. I'm going to say that right now. I had an HP for a hot minute, and it did not have a grayscale setting. And I printed one chapbook. And when I was done with that chapbook, the ink is low thing came on. And that was the only thing I had printed on it. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe it was like just some little ink thing to get you going. That's kind of fucked up, but maybe that's how they do business or whatever. And so I ran to the store, got another thing of ink, went back home, and the ink was like $20. Go back home, put it in, hit print, prints one chapbook, low ink. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like going through all the settings, and they did not have a grayscale setting. And I think they don't have a grayscale setting in the hopes that you're going to burn through your ink and have to go buy more ink. So I'm just like, screw that. Like, if I can't get grayscale, like I'm gone. Um, 9, 11, 13, 15. And you always got to check your pages, because sometimes pages get stuck together, and when the printer pulls them in, it's like two pages kind of stuck like this instead of just like one piece of paper going in. It makes it hard. What? What's happening? Touch wood for you. Thank you, buddy. I'm holding my thumbs, which is what we do over here instead of crossing fingers. No way! That's awesome. Do you use standard quality paper or heavier paper? I, for a long time, not a long time, but for like the first couple years, I was using heavier, like higher quality paper, and it was like killing my printer. I think that's what ended up, the first one ended up like jacking it up. And each printer has certain weights that they could print up to and everything like that. And this one, like, I can't remember what the actual pound was, but I remember it was 20 pounds less than what the printer says it could do. So I thought I was fine. But when you would hear the printer try to pull that paper, it just sounded like murder. And so with a lot of my covers, like the cardstock, it's really like, it just, like, you know, it's hard on the printer trying to get that cardstock in there. And one of the reasons why I love newsprint is because it is so light that it's just a breeze for the printer. It is so easy for the printer. And I think, honestly, the amount of work I make that printer do, I think if I was using, this feels thin. I think if I was using regular paper or even like just 20-pound white, still, like, it would be too much. But like, have fun with it. And if you find paper that's like really cool, but you don't think your printer can handle it, just get those pages or those covers printed at a print shop or like FedEx or Staples or something like that, because they have the machinery to do it. I was actually thinking about that for a book coming up. I wanted to do this really cool textured cover. And I'm like, I don't think my printer is going to be able to do this. So I think I'm going to outsource the covers, and then I'll just print the interior and put them together. But I was talking to this guy who does zines up in the Northwest, and he just completely stopped doing the printing and all that shit altogether. And he's like, yeah, I design it and then I email it to a print shop, and it costs like $250. And in about a day, there's a box at my front door with all my zines looking beautiful, put together, stapled, and the whole thing. And I was just like, wow, like, take the fun out of it, why don't you? But no, I mean, it's an idea. Shit. Newsprint feels good. So weird. I used to have such an aversion to touching paper for years and years and years and years. And newsprint was the worst for me. And it was because of newspapers, because of all the ink that would get on your fingers. And I always felt like I was super dirty after reading a newspaper. But nobody reads newspapers anymore, so it doesn't matter. Am I right? Good to know. Yeah, I was thinking covers might do best in the print shop. Yeah, like for instance, this guy. This cover, I think this is, I think it's 60-pound cardstock, which is different from 60-pound paper. Like these are all things that you find out that you think you know and you think you have an idea, and it turns out you know absolutely nothing. But when I was printing these fuck up a lot. And so paper this big, for every 10 of these I print, I usually lose 2, meaning they either get jammed in the printer and crumpled up and fucked up, or the printer grabs it weird. And so when it comes out, it's only like half of it printed, kind of thing. So, it is what it is. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. All right. Where are those covers? Are you joking me? Oh, I think they're over here. It's like, what am I doing with my life? Okay. Okay, I'm going to get the stapler out. I'm excited. This is the big reveal. Oh my God. Oh my God. Ooh, rubber bottom. No slip. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God. Oh. This says no jam. I'm very excited to see this no jam in action, because I think there is going to be some jamage. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited right now. I'm like drooling and everything. Okay, let's put one of these bad mama jammas together and see what we got here. Man, these are all out of order. Oh. Okay. This paper, I can't remember what it's called, but it's mainly used for wedding invitations, like this type of paper and weight. It's great. I absolutely love this for covers. It feels so good. And I use the same kind of stock for this book, for shit poems, and I think there's another one I use this way. I can't think of what it is off the top of my head, but this is my favorite. Like if I had to pick, like it's a little pricier, but it's gorgeous. I love it. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't know what to do right now. I'm freaking out. Okay, give me your staples, old stapler. Oh, come on. Don't. Okay, yeah, it fits. I was like, what? Let me see. Oh my gosh. That was so smooth. Are you guys ready? I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. Okay. Let's bring you down to Pound Town here. Okay, are you guys ready for this? Okay. So, last chance, the book, first chance, and the new stapler. Okay. And like being able to oh my gosh, look how easy that is. I don't know if that's oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's look at this now. Okay. So staples are perfectly centered, and it didn't look like it was gonna be. And then look at that. Perfectly centered. And they're in there perfectly. I don't have to pull them out. I don't have to. Oh my gosh, this is going to make everything so much quicker. Okay, now look. This is the part I was talking about. Do you guys see this? This is the part that was making me kind of like, Oh my gosh, this stapler is amazing. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let me see if this is going to work. How do you get into this thing? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, is that, I don't know if it's actually, screw it. Oh. Yeah, the razor is there. Oh, that's kind of nice how that works. Look, I can like lift this up and look at the razor in there. And then, I don't know, there's some instructions and things that you can do to like do different things. So we'll see. But let me see if I could cut this many pages at once. I don't think I can, but we are going to experiment. So I guess I could just do that. Is that how that works? I wish there was like a way to let me see. Okay, guys, this is it. Oh, that feels kind of tricky. All right, well, it didn't really do as much as I wanted to, but look at all this. So at least now I have packing materials for the boxes I ship. Okay, maybe this wasn't the best idea in the world, but or maybe I just need to practice a little bit more. Okay, so that's that. Yeah, I should practice more. Maybe read the instructions. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Because that was a lot of paper to come out to actually not have done anything at all. I don't know. But yeah. So this is going to work out splendidly. So yeah, screw instructions, dude. Let me see here. Jade says the handmade feeling is part of the chap experience. It totally is. Like you make zines because they're fun to make. You don't make them because people are like, "Oh, literature." I don't know. Maybe you do. Brian says I had a student once who could not touch notebook paper, or he would have a meltdown. He had to do everything on printer paper. And then Caitlin says, my oldest is autistic and he can't touch paper when he is reading books. That might be kind of what's going on with me. Some of you might already go, oh, yeah. But I'm on the spectrum, we'll say. And things happen a certain way, and certain things bother me that don't bother other people. It's Christmas, okay. But for him, it's a metal thing. Oh wow. Things that make writers go, ooh, office supplies. Oh, dude, seriously. Like I can have like a complete pay meltdown in a freaking office store. There's this store that I want to go to called Kelly Paper, and I'm gonna hit them up. There was one kind of local and it closed during the pandemic, but there's one down in Long Beach still. So I'm gonna hit that place up and try to get all of the ridiculous textured paper that I want to be using for like the next 6 months from there. I'm kind of excited about it. Um, Kids are goofy, yeah. Some adults are goofy too. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wrap this up because I'm going to try to get an interview in for an upcoming podcast, and the time seems to be now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back a little bit later and kind of show off the stapler a little bit more. Guys, seriously, I was thinking that this was going to be kind of flimsy. It is substantial. It is substantial. I'm very happy with that damn stapler. Oh my gosh, it makes me so mad that I waited all this time to get it. I've been wanting that stapler for years. And I'm like, I have a stapler. I'm not going to spend money on something I don't need. Screw that, dude. Okay. But yeah, I'm going to come back and I'm going to put together the rest of these chapbooks. But then also, I have to do like a triple breakdown inventory. So if any of this is fun in a weird ASMR sense, I will see you guys soon. So thank you guys for hanging out. And again, I will see you in just a bit.